that. So let's just head down and say hi to him. 5-second cooldown brings it right back up soon and ready. Oh, look at that. Easy. Easy damage. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. I'm going to pick up that coal and head to the next encampment. Whoa, I'm back with more Ventures loadouts. I'm sorry, okay? I did showcase 3 videos on the screen. You can check them out down below. Those are all still relevant in my opinion, but I took a break from making videos right when Ventures started, so I didn't showcase all of the loadouts that I wanted to showcase, so we're gonna get right back into it. Now, I want to talk about power level real quick because I waited a couple of weeks. I figured some of you are, I don't know, not in your first missions of Ventures anymore, so I actually took some time to level up myself to get to an area where I feel like most of you might be at. So we're going to be queuing the power level 70 zones, and I have been sure to have none of my high level players in the lobby, my friends in the lobby, because I know that Awari and Archer and Mateo, they like to finish right away, but I didn't want a power level 130 in here because when I show you this loadout, I want it to be as good as it normally would be. I know not everybody has a power level 130 chilling in their party. So I even asked everybody on stream, Twitch link down below if you guys ever want to be a part of this, for people who are within my power level or lower, we see you, Wanderer, to be in the party so that when you're seeing this gameplay today, it is truly how it would perform if you were using it yourself. And I wanted that to be extremely fair. Like, even if a 130 joined and it boosted me to like power level 117 and then I queued a power level 108 zone, it would still just... I'm not exactly certain if the boosted power level is the exact same as being there yourself, and it just would feel wrong. So, with all that said, let's talk about the loadout. We're going minigun. I have, of course, covered it on the channel. Link to that down below if you guys want the minigun build. This is good for any zone. This is good for dungeons, for regular missions, pretty much any venture season. Minigun is good or better than usual, but this is honestly still something worth showcasing because it's that good. I am running a variant with Sub-Commando Jonesy in the lead. So, Sub-Commando Jonesy is a Twitch Prime hero. I use him just to flex, but you can always use Commando Spitfire as well. Big buff black dude right here. He is the exact same. It's completely identical. I only use Sub-Commando because it's, you know, Twitch Prime. And I've also supercharged him because that does increase the ability damage. So that is nice. When you supercharge him, you want your minigun to do more damage. Am I wrong? So I've also supercharged him there. And I've also supercharged Diecast Jonesy, who is fantastic in the lead. Aura Dragon in our party will also be running Diecast Jonesy in the lead because it's a variant of this build. He is a much stronger minigun. It's also energy damage, which is great against elemental zombies. And we are in the 70 zone, so I don't think it's too late to be using a physical minigun. It will give me a 5-second cooldown instead of about a 27-second cooldown, which is a great improvement, but physical enemies are a little more scarce in these zones. So this is where Diecast Jonesy in the lead might be a little bit better. And then if you are running Diecast Jonesy in the lead, you do have some options opened up to you like Azealia Clark, who will give your ability energy damage a bonus of 15.5%, which is kind of nice, but that's only energy damage. And you also have Extraterrestrial Rio, who increases your energy damage by 20% so long as your shields are up. That's only relevant to Diecast in the lead. Today we'll be having him in support because 25% is great. Happy holidays, of course, which can, of course, come from Ted, who you can research without a voucher. He'll give you happy holidays and increase your minigun damage. Definitely a great combo. We're going to talk about that in a second. Then we're using Ain't Done Yet. I am using Birthday Brigade once again for the flex, but you can use Sergeant Jonesy. He's a base game hero who does the exact same thing. Just increases the minigun uptime by 5 seconds. Right down here, Sergeant Jonesy. That's what he's called. I'll just show his name if you guys want to look for him. This is a super normal hero. He's available all the time. I point him out in my daily missions pretty regularly. He is super easy to obtain, and he increases it by 5 seconds, which is actually how we get that 5-second cooldown, because without that extra 5 seconds, it'd be more like a 10.5-second cooldown. But now that you can cancel your minigun as well, it's not even a big deal. It's super nice. Battle Beat does activate, and it does increase your minigun damage once you get that elimination bonus active. So definitely a great support hero. And yes, I'm using Survivalist. I wanted some form of healing in this build. I don't feel like getting coconuts today. I'm being lazy. So you know what? Maybe he'll impress me and I'll have to apologize for calling him as garbage as he is, or what I think we both know is going to happen, he's going to do a bad job, and then part of this video will be complaining about Survivalist. Enough of that though, let's hop in game for what I believe to be the first time ever, an encampments mission in Ventures, which I think will be pretty short, so if this goes by quick enough, we might even queue another mission after this, just to enjoy the minigun more often. Maybe I'll switch to Diecast Jonesy and we can, you know, compare and contrast. All right, encampments mission. No, I wanted to hit it. Okay, I wanted to hit it with my hoverboard, but we got one over. Oh, come on, I'm being scammed. There we go. Yeah, all right. Ooh, okay. All right. I know I'm supposed to be showcasing the minigun right now, but I cannot avoid this opportunity to show you one of my favorite things of this game. This big lily pad sends you into the freaking stratosphere. Certainly not as high as you can go. I know there's already somebody commenting that I should have picked up a chicken, but it's always fun to do that. But honestly, Yeah, minigun, just cutting straight through the elementals. That's exactly what I expected. And this is kind of a good showcase where even if you're seeing elemental targets, for a certain bit of time, minigun is going to be completely fine. Like Diecast right there isn't really necessary until the end game, and I feel like that shorter cooldown is much nicer. So let's find the second encampment, and then I'm going to talk about something else. So the next thing I wanted to discuss is something that you guys have probably already started noticing, and that is the smoke screen. So a smoke screen will reduce the damage from any of my ranged weapons. I do have a little bit of an overleveled Xenon bow. I did in fact get that from high level missions, but the smoke screen is only something that reduces the ranged weapon damage. So minigun and other abilities like my shockwave or grenades or whatever else are just going to cut straight through that smoke screen and do tons of damage anyway. And given our current Ventures modifier, if you go up here to the modifiers, short range, blah, 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 all enemies have a chance to drop a healing pickup. I don't think it's mentioned in here, but you do actually do more damage with an ability up close, which is not just, you know, reduce damage from far away, but you do get an ability damage bonus up close. I don't know if they changed that or if they're just not mentioning it this season, but as you can see, this is absolutely shredding. We're not even being carried. Everybody in here is the appropriate power level, and the minigun is annihilating everything. If I'm not mistaken, I might get corrected in the Twitch chat today. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of the top Ventures grinders actually run minigun pretty much exclusively. Between the shortened cooldown in the lead and Diecast Jonesy in the lead, you can use both of those to great effectiveness. You can use that reduced cooldown just for early game madness like right now, or you can use Diecast in the end to just absolutely annihilate mini bosses. It's extremely powerful, and I'm sure this next encampment will show exactly that. So Archer says he constantly runs base, and I do feel like that's definitely something that's going to be helpful on your team if you're going to be running Ventures constantly. But if somebody's running base, or even two people are running base, you only need one or two people with a minigun to be your main DPS, and you'll do tons of damage. Look at this. Look at this beauty. We even have a surprise, too, because I'm pretty sure there's a mini-boss. Not a mini-boss, but a smasher down here. Yeah. So let's just head down and say hi to him. 5-second cooldown brings it right back up soon and ready. Oh, look at that. Easy. Easy damage. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. I'm going to pick up that coal and head to the next encampment. And by next encampment, I mean finishing off the one that we were already working on, because apparently a bunch of enemies ran away and took forever to get eliminated by us. But you know what? We got it taken care of. These animals sometimes. Zombies just get bored and run away. Also, the cat cam is done, so you guys can have me back now. It's not going away. It's okay. I'm here now. We could see my face again for the few of you who might enjoy that. I'm sorry for those of you who don't like seeing my face, but hey, if you ever want to just build up some channel points on the Twitch stream and make me go away, you can do that. I actually updated my monkey and chair cam because we got the YouTube plaque behind us. That's, you know, for those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, it's a nice little new decoration to certainly spice things up, and definitely happy to have it. I'm not going to go on some 100K speech talking about gratitude and stuff again, but I am grateful. And you know, I gotta say, I mentioned Survivalist would be whatever it was, but like, we're not really taking a lot of damage here, and I'm kind of glad I didn't run coconuts, because at least in these early game missions, I do still consider the 70 zones early game. The zombies aren't giving us nearly enough trouble to be needing coconuts, especially with a team here where everybody's actually participating. I know Wanderer is a little bit underleveled, but with at least 3 of us on these encampments and Aura running a similar minigun loadout, it's not exactly a situation where we're taking a ton of damage. So I think Survivalist was the right call. I don't agree with him for the end game. I'm going to stick to those guns, but I can understand and concede a little bit that sometimes it just doesn't matter. Running around getting coconuts is a huge pain in the ass. I've never truly enjoyed it. It does give you a damage bonus, but as we're seeing here, it's not really a damage bonus that I need. So if it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. All right, I think this is the first of the super encampments. So this is where things get a little spicier. This is where we get quite a few more targets to shoot at, but all right. I wanted to see, taking constant damage, what is Survivalist going to do for me? Honestly, not much. I'm not healing very much at all. It's like 3,000 at a time. But with this current Venture season, we have all these candy drops on the ground. We have all of these healing potions on the ground. I don't even feel like your loadout should be the primary source of healing. I didn't even consider that when I was running Ventures. And that's kind of what makes this a Ventures video rather than just another minigun showcase, because those gumdrops are obviously not a thing in the main game unless you're running the, you know, Candy Corn LMG or the, what is it? Oh man, the Ginger Blaster? Yeah. I'll link both those videos down below. But those are definitely going to give you gumdrops, but they're also not minigun. So all that extra healing goes a long way. It's also made me think about like different ways that you can heal your ability, where like coconuts and survivalists and your loadout aren't necessarily the only way to heal. You can always put down a campfire or a healing pad, and in ventures it's not maybe that economical, but there are different ways to stay alive that don't necessarily require you to be farming coconuts all the time. I'm not gonna lie, it took me way too long to remember a different form of healing, but the food that you can pick up from looting, it's not that great, trust me, but it is still something that I always forget about when I'm thinking about healing. It's kind of a nice bonus to the game. Like, they're not gonna keep you alive in a fight, but if you can back off to restock your health bar, it's not too bad of a bonus. God, these miniguns are absolutely shredding. If you guys have been wondering why I'm cutting out some of these encampments gameplay, like encampments footage, it's just like this is it. This is it. We're just annihilating everything. I think we're gonna cut to the last encampment and then probably show you guys a 4x mission, because I want to show what all this minigun loadout can do. Okay, I lied about the last encampment. Look how beautiful this destruction is. I almost said construction, but you know, we're not exactly constructors here. Although constructors are really fantastic adventures, and in my opinion, pretty underrepresented on my channel. Like, I don't show constructor loadouts that often because they're not exactly fun builds. They're meta builds, they're strong, they keep your bases alive, and I do like having a constructor in our party every time somebody chooses to run constructor, but it's not like it's a super fun build. I don't want to just put down a base and then just do no damage while you guys watch me stare at nothing and maybe do party hips or something. I don't think that makes for extremely compelling content, but I do like to showcase that it is a really powerful loadout. Like, even in my Ventures loadouts videos, I think constructors were always almost a footnote. I mention them, say they're amazing, and then move on, because there's really not much to show. You put down a base, your walls get stronger, and then, well, there you go. You don't do a ton of damage with that build. If you're not trapping, there's not that much needed from you. I know that I mentioned the Ventures grinders ran Diecast. I think only one of them actually ran a minigun build. The other two are either Outlanders or bases. So yeah, constructors can be definitely good, but miniguns, man. All right, the last encampment. Here we go. This is beautiful. You can also just aim for the head. I always forget about this, but you do get a headshot bonus from aiming at the head. And with everybody running these abilities, like, what, we got 2 miniguns and I don't even know what else. Oh no, I lost it. That's okay. We just run a shockwave, throw a drone. I always save my drones for the last encampment. I probably shouldn't. In this video, I'm trying to just use the minigun as much as possible, but typically I space out my drones because they have about a 2.5 minute cooldown, which is not something you want to waste, but at the same time, sometimes I save them so much that I do end up wasting them in the end. Like, I don't want to waste the drone, but then I end up not using it at all, and then, yeah. Unfortunately, my minigun was misaligned with the spawning of all the zombies, but it's obviously just amazing. Let's move on to the 4x mission and see how it does over there. Somebody mentioned in my de-atomizer video that they wanted to see my damage. It's 5,124, so I alone matched these two over here, which is pretty good, not gonna lie. All right, as mentioned, we're going to switch to Diecast in the lead. So Aura mentioned that he was very, very much so regretting that 26-second cooldown. I'm now going to be putting up with it myself. Like I said, this loadout can change to adjust for the extra energy damage that Diecast outputs, but I'm just going to keep this build the exact same because I don't really think it matters at our power levels. So yeah, we're just going to hop straight into it. All right, we're doing a 74 player, retrieve the data. I got basic traps going down here. We got couple of floor freezes, you know, floor spikes. I don't think minigun can do all of the damage, but, you know, we're gonna try our best. We're gonna try our best. Look at that, even at the range. I forgot to mention this in the last mission, but if you crouch, you actually get, obviously, a tighter spread and better damage out of it. Not damage, but like, because more of your shots are hitting, you do output more damage to a single target. And this is the part where Aura was complaining. This is where, as strong of a minigun as it is, I'm just waiting 26 seconds. So for the entertainment value of the video, I might start cutting out these timers, but like, rest assured, this loadout is heavily nerfed by the fact that you are useless in between each minigun. As for now though, I talked through the cooldown so we can actually just show how balanced it is. Like, you're waiting a ton of time, but just annihilating a smasher and a zappy face and everything in between, even with healing death burst, keeping everything more alive than they otherwise would be, is super strong. But I'll see you in 20 seconds. All right, we got our minigun back up and active, but honestly, there's not a lot to be asked of me right now. This is where, for the video, I'm going to use a minigun and show you guys what this thing can do, but in reality, I'd almost use it sparingly. Like, it's almost as a last resort, which is sad to say because I don't want you to not use your primary build, but the cooldown is so significant that you gotta save it, because what could happen is I could start shooting zombies right now, doing what I do, you know, cooldown active, and then this could be the time where smashers roll through and go through our base, and then I really wish I had my minigun available right now. So whenever I'm queuing with my higher level friends, because I want to play with my friends, but they're 130, whenever I get queued with them and I am running a mission where I'm not quite high enough to do anything, I'm not gonna lie, being 20, 30, 40 levels underpowered, boosted, mind you, so they'll be boosting me to like 80 or 90, but we're running 140 zones. That is still a zone where this minigun can pick up the slack. I can pop a war cry and actually be doing useful amounts of damage against the mini boss. It's crazy to be getting carried by higher level players and then they're deferring to me for me to pop the minigun and the war cry to actually be doing good damage to the mini boss. It's a pretty good feeling that you can be useful in those missions. Now, of course, if they were in the same loadout, they'd be doing way more damage, but it's cool that you can be not a dead teammate. So I don't recommend getting carried necessarily, but like, if you do find yourself in that position, this minigun can really pick up that slack. Ooh, we got another smasher. So let's do this. Let's pop a drone. War cry can boost the team. Just give everybody a nice little bonus right there. And since we killed a little bit of time, we got the minigun available, and it's gone. And it's gone. You are doing, let's see, I don't think you get that plus 44% damage by having a physical minigun. I'm really not certain exactly how that works, because I know that like weapon perks give you that plus 44% from having it being physical, but I don't think that works for miniguns. If somebody knows and I'm wrong, let me know. But either way, you aren't actually doing a ton of extra damage to a physical target like this with that energy minigun. But of course, Diecast is giving you that extra 50%, so it's absolutely massive. Assuming you actually have a minigun to use, which I currently do not. So yeah, this Xenombo is of course going to do a little bit more damage because I grabbed it from a higher level. I actually got kind of okay perks. For Ventures, this is as good as you can ask for, but it's obviously nerfed by that smoke screen, which, as mentioned, minigun just cuts right through. It's very important to know how smoke screens work. I don't know the exact percentage reduction. Either it's 20% or 25%, somewhere in there. The point is, ranged weapons do significantly less, to the extent that you might as well just not even shoot at the targets. So, having abilities like Dragon Slash, Minigun, I think like, I was thinking Anti-Material Charge, but you wouldn't want to use that for damage anyway. Those abilities can cut right through it, and it's super useful. And yeah, Minigun is no different. So, I'm going to wait for the Minigun to be up, and see you guys then. You know, a big crowd of enemies, probably better dealt with a... Oh, okay. I guess the bull rush works too, but I was thinking a frag grenade because, again, I'm trying to save this ability. So I guess I'm just going to hang out until... Ooh, I was going to say the mini boss, but we got a couple of big boys coming in. Never mind. I actually can't wait for the mini boss. This is definitely one of those loadouts where I am just excited. I'm really hoping... Ooh, my answers... My prayers are answered. Yes, I was really hoping it wouldn't be a trap vulnerable. I hope my teammate will let me have this. Please, team, let me use the minigun on the mini boss because I want to see how well this can do. That is why you put walls on the other side of the broadside. This one did have a wall here, but it got blown out. So I'm going to wait 15 seconds or so and take this thing out. All right, this is where I really wish I had a coconut, but it doesn't matter. War cry, minigun, what kind of damage can we do? Honestly, for it being a husky mini boss, this is doing really good damage. Like, this is a very tanky mini boss, and I am basically going to solo it. That is exactly how strong the minigun can be. I'm really glad that wasn't a tank mini boss, but that's what I'm talking about, where this loadout might not be your main damage output, but it is super strong for single target damage. And obviously, if my team had worked on that mini boss before I had a chance, like if they hadn't waited for me, it would have been dead before my minigun was even available. That's how strong it can be. So I know I don't need to make a case for the minigun. I'm pretty sure everybody already knows that it's an awesome ability, but still, like, definitely a good loadout. If you guys are ever struggling with ventures and you need something consistent that works every single season, I'm not aware of a single venture season where minigun isn't just a good staple build. You don't want it to be your only damage output. Eventually you'll get bored of that. I highly recommend diversity, but that's why I want to make several different ventures videos. I was gonna say types of ventures videos. They're all the same, just showcasing different loadouts, but giving you guys different ways to play is a way that hopefully I can make your experience a little bit better in the game and help you from getting bored, because so long as Ventures doesn't let you use your own schematics, as of recording, that is not currently a thing in the game, we can't really make loadouts based around certain weapons. So every single venture season, I'm pretty much using abilities, which gets boring fast because there are only a couple dozen decent abilities in the game and there are hundreds of weapons. So abilities get old, but you know, if you guys want to try different ones out, you can hopefully make that stagnation take a little while to happen, because if you switch off different abilities every season, hopefully that variety can keep things a little more interesting. Oof, that Xenon bow, just cutting through him. I know this is an over-leveled Xenon bow. I haven't for a second pretended like it wasn't, but it's still nice to see. The Xenon bow is actually a weaker damaging weapon in the game, more than people might think, but it seems like this minigun is going to close out the rest of the game, and honestly, did a pretty good job. Obviously, with active teammates and some basic supportive traps, we've been able to defend this with no problem. Obviously, some damage traps would have been pretty good too, but minigun really picking up the slack here, and I think Commando is definitely better for as long as you can use it. That physical minigun is certainly weaker, but so much more available that it's something I've thought about, actually, is even though it might be significantly less damage, because it's available 5 times more often, you know, 20 seconds instead of 26, it is potentially okay. I did 7,400 damage, by the way, for those interested in the damage numbers. I know my teammates let me have a lot of that. It's no competition, but some of you are interested in that. So what I'm trying to say is physical minigun might be better more often than not, but definitely an amazing build. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm looking into the camera and it doesn't matter because the cat cam is available. Twitch link down below if you guys ever want to be a part of the shenanigans. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, enjoy this venture season. Take it easy. And then